So,
Yeah.
to begin with, I would like you to introduce yourself, your company, industry, as well as your work experience.
Okay. So I am Gaurav Mehta. I'm the founder of Jaipur Watch Company. Jaipur Watch Company was started in the year 2013, and we were the first micro luxury brand in India who manufactures wrist watches. And we don't compete in the mass brands. We cater to niche clients, and we work with a very strong elite clientele. Uh, so when in 2013 I started this company, I was the first one who, in India decided to make an Indian luxury watch brand, which was a very unheard of a concept because either India produces mass watches or India doesn't make watches. So this was the notion. But since I come from the city of Jaipur, and Jaipur as a city is known for jewelry, right? Internationally, jewelry and watches go together hand in hand. But in India, it was missing. So I thought, we should definitely get into it and add that element. So that's how Jaipur Watch Company was born.
So, why did you?
And
Sorry, yeah.
before Jaipur Watch Company, I'll give you my background. I've done my master's in risk management. I used to work with the reinsurance broker in London. And after coming to India, also, I did insurance broking for some time. After insurance broking, I got into FEC industry. FEC is basically family entertainment centers, where I used to have gaming zones, play areas in the malls, what you find. So I used to do that. And after the FEC industry, I got into watchmaking. So watchmaking is a business I got because it was purely out of passion. You know, this business was something which was built on passion. I was very fond of watches. I used to collect coins, and I really wanted to do something, which I adore. I have more than 300 watches in my personal collection.
So,
So that's why I got into this.
so, can you give us some idea how how the watch industry has shaped over the last few years?
So the Indian watch industry market size is roughly around 12,000 crore rupees. The size of the Indian watch industry. Okay, overall, out of which 60% is dominated by mass brands. 60% is dominated by mass brands. 20% in value is dominated by the Swiss brands. Okay, and 10% is what is somewhere middle of mass brands and normal brands. So this is how the Indian watch industry is positioned right now. But when I started in 2013, the market was totally different. That time, there was no segment so-called luxury watches for India. Okay. Now there are few Indian brands who have also come after I started. So the market has grown, the industry has developed. There are players in the industry now. The acceptance level for Indian watch brand was very low when I had started. Now we see the acceptance level is high. People are buying high ticket size watches also from Indian brands. So market is definitely shaping up, and scenario has changed. The mindset has changed. People have started believing in the Make in India movement, which is going on since last 6-7 years in this country now. Okay, so that has definitely benefited brands like us because we are proudly Indian, and we have always been Indian. So our design sensibilities are also.
So, how do you foresee the industry moving in the next few years, about next 5 years? How do you see the
Uh,
future?
uh, I see not 5 years, but 10 years from now, I see smartwatches will play a huge role. Okay. 7 out of 10 people will be wearing a smartwatch in India. Okay. Which is the current scenario outside India. If you go to US or if you go to Europe, you'll find 7 people wearing a smartwatch out of 10 people. But in 10 years from now, India will also reach that stage where 7 people out of 10 will get into smartwatches. So definitely there is scope for brands like us because we are nowhere close to smartwatches as of now. But it's always in the pipeline, and we will be adding, smartwatches, but not appealing to the masses, but appealing to a niche clientele. So something unique will come from our side.
So, Please, can you please throw some light on the challenges you faced during the initial years of your career, and maybe some advice you could give to youngsters to overcome or avoid these kind of challenges?
So when I started my business, the first challenge which I faced was capital, because capital is something, which not everyone is privileged to have a lot of money to start their own business. So for me to start the business, I had to sell my car initially as the first capital. Then I had to take loan from some of the friends, like my school friends that time. I had to, speak to them that, if you can give me some money and I'll repay you. And people agreed also. That time I was lucky. So capital was a huge this thing. Second problem what I faced was lack of acceptance for Indian brands. That, Indian hai, why is it so expensive? The name is Jaipur Watch Company. ये तो जयपुर में बनी हुई है, इसका why will I pay 50,000 रुपया? मैं 50,000 रुपये में I'll buy a Swiss brand only. This mindset was there that, Indian brands cannot be superior. Indian brands cannot be expensive. ये जो mindset है ना, this mindset को break करने में मुझे बहुत टाइम लगा. And I still struggle with that mindset. ऐसा नहीं है that we have broken that mindset and we are well set now. We still face this problem, but you have to be patient. You have to follow your passion. And, one thing is you have to be patient in this business or any business. Okay. You stay in your industry patiently, wait for the right time, and definitely you will get an opportunity. It's not like कि 6 महीना अच्छा नहीं गया मैं business बंद कर देता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Maybe after 6 months, something big is coming for you. You always have to wait for that, and something will happen. If you are honest in your approach, something good always happens. This is, I'm a firm believer of this kind of philosophy.
So, what kind of job opportunities can youngsters expect in your industry in the next 10
Huge
years?
opportunities. We struggle to find the right manpower because people are not interested in watches now. Honestly, people of your generation, I would say, you don't wear a watch. I don't think you're wearing a watch right now,
No, I'm
right?
not.
Yeah. So people from your industry, in your school, in your friend circle also, I don't think many people wear watch other than maybe a smartwatch,
Hmm.
right? So there is lack of training. We don't find skilled manpower who is trained to deal with watches. Okay. Uh, so probably 10 years from now, we won't have any people who will be trained enough to design watches or repair watches or manufacture watches. So there is a huge gap in this industry because ऐसा नहीं है कि 10 साल बाद में normal watches बिकनी बंद हो जाएगी. They'll always sell. Okay. Uh, few days back, I had clients from Australia. So they told me that, we wear Apple Watch every day. But for special occasions, we require good looking smartwatches, normal watches, right? So normal watches will always be there. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो कभी खत्म हो जाएंगी, कि smart watches will take over the world. But to deal with the normal watches, you need to have technical manpower, people who are, having that skill set or that passion to design a watch or to maybe repair a watch. These are the kind of people who we are missing in this industry. So there is definitely a lot of job.
So, sir, what would you suggest to students to study and work in India or to study and look for better job opportunities overseas? So, as you said, you worked in London as well. And where are better opportunities? And like, yeah.
See, definitely India is offering much better opportunities right now. Because when I was in London, that was way back in 2005. So that is like 17 years back. That time India was different. Now India is different. There are more opportunities now, and people are getting paid very well in India right now. When I started my first job in India, when I came back from London, I remember I joined Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company in Bombay. Okay. My pay level was peanuts at that time when I started. Okay. And now if a newcomer joins at the same position where I had joined initially in 2005, 2006, he'll get at least 4 times what I was getting paid that time. Okay. So Indian market has definitely changed. People are paying well and there are a lot of opportunities. Yeah. India, as is larger than many countries combined together in terms of population. So there is a lot of clientele for you, for any industry, not just watches. I'm saying any industry you get into, within India, you will find a lot of clientele because itni population hai hamare yahan, we should use it to our advantage. And that is why I always say that India is the right market to start from.
So, as you said, that India has a large population. So, but with a large population, don't you think there'll be more competition among companies to
There are
hire
more
the?
opportunities. There are more opportunities. Why are you thinking of getting hired somewhere? Why don't you think of starting something new on your own? There are a lot of innovative ideas evolving all around us all the time. I was just reading an article in the morning that there was a guy who went to an astrologer in the few years back. The astrologer told him that your company will shut down in a few years, and his company closed down. He took it as an opportunity and he started a company called astrotalk.com. And now today he's doing a turnover of more than 150 crore rupees per year on astrotalk.com. So there are a lot of opportunities, unique opportunities which will come in India. So this hyper delivery system which has started in India is nowhere in the world. You'll go anywhere in the world, you won't find such kind of hyper delivery system in India. You order something, within 8 to 10 minutes, you are getting your groceries at your home.
Yeah.
This is hyper delivery, which has already started in India. So these are the kind of concepts which will evolve all the time. 10 years back, ऐसा कोई concept था ही नहीं delivery का. So these concepts will evolve all the time. You should not be scared of the competition. You should see there are many opportunities which are coming. With increasing population, there are problems. To solve those problems is a business. If you look at it this way, you have to identify the right problem.
Okay. So, sir, next, I would just to end it up. So, I would like you to give some advice to youngsters who are planning to start their own companies or their businesses. Some like golden rules they should always keep in mind.
See, one golden rule I will say you should always have a safety net. Okay. You must have seen a lot of movies where startup movies where people throw in everything and then they start a business and they're successful. Doesn't happen every time. You need to definitely have a safety net. You should. So when I started this business, I made sure that my family has enough income for at least 1 year or 6 months. Okay. Even if I don't make any money in my new business, but for the 6 months, their life should not be compromised. That is one thing because that is important for your own peace of mind also. So that safety net has to be there. Okay. First. Secondly, like I said before also, you should wait for the opportunity patiently in any business. Opportunities will come. If your business model is right, you will get an opportunity. 6 months might be bad for your business, but after 6 months, you'll get one opportunity which will make up for those 6 months. But अगर आपने वो 5th month में छोड़ दिया business कि नहीं यार ये तो सही नहीं चल रहा है, so you altogether you miss out on that opportunity which was supposed to come to you, right? So you have to patiently wait for the right opportunity to come in the business. Connect yourself with the right people. Networking is the key for every business. Okay. I don't say that you should be connected with HNIs all the time, but you should be connected with the right people. When I got into watchmaking or watch business, I was an active member of a lot of watch forums before that, and I could read what was going on in the industry. I had networked with a lot of people. So when I started, I knew that these are the kind of people who are going to be my clients. So you need to have good networking in any business. You can't say I am a shy person, I don't want to network with people and I want to start my business. ऐसे नहीं होता. You need to have the right set of networking. And one last point which I would say, try and find one guru. Okay. Try and find one mentor for yourself. It can be anyone. It can be your school teacher. It can be your college professor. It can be some relative in your house. Try and find some mentor in your house who can guide you. Because there will be a lot of things which you don't know when you enter into business. Because you will face a lot of things for the first time. Taxation. Taxation is a very complicated thing in India. आप GST रजिस्टर कराते हो, GST ऑफिसर आपके ऑफिस में आ जाता है इंस्पेक्शन करने. यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. यू आर लाइक ये कौन आ गया. यू गेट स्केयर्ड. ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर क्यों आ गया हमारे यहाँ पे. यू शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर ऑल दीज थिंग्स. कौन कौन से लाइसेंसेस लेने हैं मुझे, क्या करना है. यू नीड टू हैव वन मेंटोर, एनीवन हु हैज डन सम बिजनेस समवेयर और हु हैज साउंड नॉलेज ऑफ बिजनेस, who can guide you. So always have one mentor and look up to that mentor all the time. So these are my final tips.
So, sir, I guess that was it.
Chal, thank you so much. All the
Thank
best.